Well, over the last few months, Americans have seen prices go up on just about everything: gas, groceries, and even homes. Well, Jack Hawthorne is the CEO of Keller Williams Heritage here in San Antonio. He's joining us now to talk about what a possible recession could mean for the housing market here in the Alamo City. Good morning, Jack. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, Jack, first of all, let's talk about the San Antonio Board of Realtors reported that in June, home sales were down by 9%. What does that mean for us, moving from July to August and in the future?
So, whenever you look at the number of sales that are happening, one of the things we have to remember in San Antonio is that we have a huge housing shortage. And so, one of the things that was making up for that shortage is the fact that everyone was freaking out over the last several years. The Fed had created an environment where money was essentially free. You had 2 and 3% interest rates, which are incredible, but pretty unsustainable from an economic standpoint. And so people were just scrambling. I have to buy a house, I have to buy a house, I have to buy a house. And they were overpaying and they were doing a lot of stuff that long term maybe they didn't want to do, but they really wanted to lock it in. So there was kind of a fear and a FOMO factor that went into it. What's happening now is, even though we have a huge inventory shortage, money is getting a little more expensive. And because of that, some of the buyers are dropping out of the market. That means that you're not seeing every single house sell immediately upon hitting the market. And so while the numbers are going down a little bit, we're still seeing the value of homes go up. And so it's an interesting dynamic to where the total volume of homes sold will still be more this year, even though we're looking around 4.5 to 5% down in unit count sold.
So, Jack, across our city and across our region, are you saying it's still going to be a seller's market for a while?
So it's balancing. The thing we're in this really special little season of home selling right now where there's still a huge shortage. So sellers have a lot of power. However, because there are less buyers in the market because of interest rates, buyers have a lot more leverage and a lot more negotiating power than they've had over the last several years.
And that's interesting. And let's talk about outside of San Antonio, New Braunfels, Comal County, one of the fastest growing areas, including Kendall County. What does that mean for these surrounding communities outside of Bexar County?
So the whole greater San Antonio area is going to be impacted in roughly the same way. When you look at New Braunfels and Boerne, they also have, or New Braunfels and Kendall County, they have a very specific draw to them, which is they've got a hyper-specific demographic going that direction. You have New Braunfels becoming something of a suburb to Austin, which is bringing in more money. And then Boerne is people that are retreating from San Antonio. They're looking to go up a little farther north. They want a different style, a different speed of life. And so you still have these specific draws for different areas that are still going to keep people stimulated.
And Jack, real quick, talk about Keller Williams Heritage just opened a new facility here in San Antonio to help buyers and sellers navigate this process. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So during the pandemic, we bought a 43,000 square foot building, renovated it specifically for real estate professionals. And you guys probably know this, but just in case you don't, Keller Williams Heritage is the top producing real estate brokerage in the greater San Antonio area by a drastic margin. No one sells even anywhere near what they sell. Because of that, we want to lean in with as many resources, as much infrastructure as we can. So that when you're working with a heritage agent, they have a full staff of over 40 people there to help them at their headquarters that's here locally based. And all we do is help people that buy and sell homes. So it works out really well for everybody.
And Jack, real quick before we go, we just have a few seconds. How can we get in touch with you?
Sure. So the best way to get in contact with us is to call us at the office, 210-493-3030. There is always an agent on call willing to help you. And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, you're not going to go wrong working with the best in the city.
All right, Jack, we appreciate your insight this morning, and thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. All right, we're going to send it over to Casey, see what's happening in the sports world this morning.